I was getting myself ready to figure out what written material I wanted to record a voiceover for, and suddenly there appears to be some hubbub about some unknown anime series called Evangelion, where the kid has to repeatedly get in the robot or else his dad gets upset. Something about an apocalypse and individualism, prophecy, and there's a reason the fandom has lasted as long as it has, and I don't have to sit here and explain how good Evangelion is. What I will explain is the thought process I have regarding the news, which you probably already know. Evangelion is back, baby, and we're getting more of it. And this comes as a surprise because as far as I was concerned, the story had reached the end. As everyone loves the original series and end of Evangelion, I perhaps take a road less traveled and go against the grain compared to some fans. Not only do I love the rebuild films, I also love them more than the originals. Almost. There is more to Evangelion, as we of course have the manga, which is great for having another take at the story and also diving a little deeper into the lore. I'm of the mindset that Evangelion is an extension of Hideaki Anno. While Yoshiyuki Sadamoto handled the manga, the anime has been interpreted as a reflection of where Anno was at that time mentally, and what the rebuild films brought to Evangelion was a sense of closure. Being able to see Shinji finally happy and moving forward in a healthy way was satisfying unless you prefer stories with a darker ending to them. Lo and behold, the Nier fans are going to be eating well. Yoko Taro will be behind the series along with Kazuya Tsurumaki. And with this, the real question is where the new anime will go. What direction is it going to take? Will Shinji have to relive through the trauma all over again? Are we going to get a recreation of the infamous hospital scene?
Oh man, my allergies. I'm all fucked up.
What could Yoko Taro have cooking in his noggin that's going to push the franchise further? None of us know what's going to happen yet, and all we can do is speculate. Evangelion is a story of repetition, but how many times will the story have to be retold? Perhaps you're like me when the news first broke and you ask yourself, why? While Evangelion is a niche franchise in the United States, it is ridiculously huge in Japan, and undeniably so to the point that it could make sense for them to have more. Think of it like Star Wars for us, but in Japan. Yet, with the anime being the brainchild of Anno, is this something that he actually intended? Well, to give an answer, the Anime Now website has an article from 2016 by Renato Rivera titled Evangelion Creator Talks the Future of the Franchise. And it goes over a booklet from Studio Khara's 10-year anniversary celebration. And from that article, quote, according to Anno, Evangelion will continue to be a mainstay of Khara's output and even identity. Anno's overall attitude appears to be that his involvement in the animation industry is simply one of love of the craft. Whether it be from the perspective of creator, archived materials, curator, or businessman. As he himself states, it is his way of giving back. However, because he himself is an animation fan, he admits he can agree with the sentiment of fans who feel that he keeps going back to EVA for more money. And the way he justifies it is very blunt. Making money is important. Otherwise, you cannot reinvest in something else to continue to create. For the future, he wishes Evangelion will become a cultural icon, one of the cornerstones of anime, much like Gundam, which has become an institution in and of itself. Like Gundam, where many creators can play around with the elements and create their own worlds, it is Anno's hope that Evangelion can also be set free, to be reconstructed and reinterpreted in many ways by many other artists. This is an idea that would work very well depending on who is behind a new series. In Gundam, there are the Universal Century purists, but there are also those of us who love the alternative universes just as much. I can still think of one idea, and the more I think of it, the more it might make sense. My prediction is of two possibilities. Either creating an alternate universe with its own EVA units, or, and this could be a very risky choice to make, take End of Evangelion and expand what happens further after the events of Shinji rejecting single consciousness. There is the argument that Kaoru did reset the universe after End of Evangelion, and that's how you have the new retellings of Evangelion, but I digest. What will most likely happen is for the predictions that I have to age like milk, and for expectations to be subverted, and hopefully not the same way as the Star Wars sequels. The next few years will be a ride. There is one thing I have to request. Over the years, there are those who are answering the question of who Best Girl is. And with my highly wizard intellect, I know that the actual Best Girl came around during the rebuild films. And this Best Girl is for true men.